Hello everybody. I'm back. I haven't been on in a while, or at least a week, but I'm here with you now. And I don't know, I'm gonna try to do this craft. I've been having a lot of stress, and maybe we'll talk while I do this a little bit. I know I'm not going to be able to do it in one shot. It's going to have to be 2, 3 videos, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I have to go to my oncologist, and that's a huge stress factor on me. And then my daughter's problems and things like that. So we're just gonna try to keep busy, and hopefully nothing shocking will be coming our way tomorrow, and it'll just be a regular visit. Let's pray for everybody in the Bahamas that has been struck by the hurricane, and for anybody who follows anybody else who needs help too today. I mean, we all do, really. And it was a year ago today that I had my radical hysterectomy for cervical cancer. And so I'm hoping that tomorrow they're not going to want to do a bunch of tests, because my insurance company actually won't pay for all the tests that they want to do, because a lot of times those tests are needless, apparently. So, and I can't pay for them. We can't pay for them. So I'll either have to turn them down and tell them I can't have the scans or whatever. Hopefully they won't ask for them. They're not really recommended, but and they only pay for visits every 6 months. Checkups, which is just basically kind of like a pap smear or something like that. But some doctors just want to do it every 3 months, and then every 4 months, and then every 6 months on the third year. Well, that's not the American Medical Association's guidelines for early stage cervical cancer. So we're going to have to go along with them, and if they don't want to go along with it, they're going to have to, because I can't afford it. We can't afford it, and insurance companies won't pay for it. So they go along with guidelines, and if the oncologist's office don't want to, then they're either going to have to suck up the cost, and the hospital is definitely not going to suck up the cost. So that's where we stand there, and my fear is they want to do another CA-125 scan, blood test that they already did 2.5 months ago, and it came back low, fine, nothing wrong with it. And they're, for whatever, I don't know if they got a mistake down there that they want to have another lab test. I'm not really afraid of that. It's the cost. They're $300. We can't do this all the time, and they don't need it. That's usually for ovarian cancer. So anyhow, and along with my daughter, we did get her back here, an update on her, to Illinois, and we're trying to get things taken care of. She's definitely having a very bad mental breakdown, and we don't know what's causing it, but we're trying to get that taken care of. So I'm not feeling really that well today, but we're going to get through this. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys too that I'm up over 300 subscribers. I think it might have dropped down. It keeps going up and down 1 or 2 numbers. So I got it at 300, 302, then it dropped back down. I don't really know. I haven't checked today. So, but thank you guys for getting there. And we're getting there. We're getting to 500 to where I can't afford to go to the Dollar Tree every day or even every week. I mean, sometimes a weekly, but a lot of times I've already bought so much stuff that I have nowhere to put it, and we're gonna, just kind of, there's certain things you got to cut back on, and that's one of them. I mean, I still go to the Dollar Tree, but I don't always buy a bunch of Halloween decorations that I'm not going to use. So I did buy this last year, actually. And this is going to be a Santa hat. You can also make a cornucopia. Now, I know there are some people out there that are trying to do these wreaths. What I'm doing is I'm going to take all the decoration off of here. You can see that. I'm trying to see what the time is on here. Okay, 5 minutes. And then this black stuff just comes off so easily. It's kind of like back and forth, back and forth. You might have to cut it a little bit with scissors. Like right now, it looks like I'm gonna have to do something. No, it came loose. It's hooked around these little nubby like things here. And all you can do with these things is just like cut them off. Take a wire cutters or whatever you have around your house. I guess scissors might be able to do it. It's hard to do one-handed for me. I haven't got very much strength in my hands. Anyhow, there. Just cut them off so they won't snag on everything. You know, not that they're going to. Really down at the bottom here, it doesn't really matter because they're going to be hid by the mesh. What I'm finding out, and I'm seeing other people, their first time making any wreaths with anything, whether it be a ring or one of these. I haven't seen anybody try one of these yet. And I know you've seen this last year or year before or whatever, and people have made them all over the internet. Use these witches hats for that reason, for a Santa hat. But it's really, really easy to do. The thing about it is that I think a lot of people that are having problems with the mesh and the wire rims using, and their whatever technique that they're using. For one thing, I noticed the very first mistake they make is they don't use enough mesh. And it takes a lot more mesh than I think they're willing to, you know, struggle with or whatever. And if you're going to buy a 14-inch or 18-inch ring, you're going to need a lot more mesh to fill it in. It's really easy to do. It's tedious, I guess. This right here is kind of pain in the rear end because I'm sitting here unwinding this stuff, this black stuff, and it kind of gets all over. You need your vacuum, but I'm really not going to worry about these things, these little things down here so much until I get up in this part here, and then I'll take them off. But I don't really, like I said, worry about them too much down here because it's, and if you want to save this for a different project, then hey, for a different crafting project, if you could think of something, then put it in a baggie or whatever and save it. If you want to save the boo, the silver boo. I mean, I don't save everything that I take off of these decorations, but as you can see, what we're going to do is put all white down here, all white mesh. I'm going to put on this down here, and there's bars to hook it onto. These outer bars, or inner bar. You put it on just one inner bar here, and so it'll fill it up really nicely. It'll be white, the Santa's, you know, thing down here, and then you take some extra mesh that you might have had left over, that I have some red left over in the 6-inch mesh, and you wrap it. You just wrap it around like a band-aid around this part here. We're not gonna do anything but wrap it. And this we might do more frillier. And then you can make a white poofy ball out of mesh. 6-inch mesh would do it, or 10-inch if you really wanted to cut it off. And or you can use a puffy ball that you could make yourself, you know, out of yarn, whatever you wanted to do. It's real easy to do, and it looks real cute. And then you can either put a bell or I don't know, a holly leaf, do whatever decorations you want to put on the Santa hat, and then hang it up. And it's darling. It really is. It turns out really cute. This thing is really plastic. It's plastic. It's cheap plastic because they might break very easily. So you kind of got to be careful when you're taking this stuff off. And, you know, all that. I'm trying to see the time so I can shut it off and not go over too many minutes on the first part. I'm going to get this all off here, and then I'm going to shut it down, clip all these little things off the side here that might, you know, stop my red. It would poke through the red one, the red mesh going around it. So I'm going to show you how to just clip them off, mainly along the side. That's all they do. And then I will be back and we'll do part 2 either later on today or maybe just as soon as I'm done here. These are really actually kind of fast. Once you get unwrapping these things like this, it gets a little bit faster to do. I hope there's enough light, and I hope you're seeing this because the camera's there on this side now. It makes it easier because I can get over here into my stash drawer a lot easier. This is just like back and forth, just back and forth, taking this off. It's easy to take off. My daughter saw this and she goes, "Oh my gosh, you're going to tear that up?" It's only $1 and they usually have a lot of these left over. It all depends. When they first started doing this, it was like everybody wanted these hats and they were hard to find. And then it's like, now it's really easy to find them, I think, for the most part. I don't know, I've not been looking because I had this one left over from last year. So there. Right now I think the pumpkin shaped ones are hard to find. Anyhow, here's this. Keep it. I don't know if I will or not. I don't know if I have a need for it. And then I just go along and, oh, that I don't need because that's going to be covered. And clip these little nubby things on the side. That's when it gets a little hard. Not hard to clip off. It's just, I don't know. Maybe these things are too big, but the smaller ones that I bought at the Dollar Tree don't work. So I got to fool around with this and get this all clipped off. And then I'll be back to do part 2, okay? See you later.